Thor sets out for Jotunheim, the land of giants, with Loki and two young servants, Thjalfi and Roskva, riding in his goat-drawn chariot. One night they take shelter in what seems like an enormous empty hall with a strange side chamber, only to discover at dawn it's the glove of a giant named Skrymir, sleeping nearby. Skrymir joins them on the road, and that night Thor, furious at the giant's snoring, strikes him 3 times with his hammer, Mjolnir, each blow enough to level a mountain. Skrymir wakes each time only to mumble something like, "A leaf fell on him," or ask if an acorn hit his head. Thor says nothing, but the doubt has already been planted. His hammer, the most feared weapon in the 9 worlds, didn't even wake a giant. They arrive at the castle of Utgarda Loki, a fortress so vast the party has to squeeze through the bars of the gate sideways. Inside, the king mocks them openly. He's heard Thor is supposed to be mighty, but Thor doesn't look like much to him. If they want a seat at the feast, they'll have to prove they're skilled at something. Loki goes first, challenging anyone to an eating contest. He's given a trough of meat and finishes his half fastest. But his opponent, a giant named Loki, has eaten the meat, the bones, and the trough itself. Thjalfi, the fastest runner in Midgard, races a young giant named Hugi 3 times and loses every time, each time by a wider margin. Then it's Thor's turn. He's handed a drinking horn and told that even weak drinkers empty it in 1 draught. Some need 2. No one needs 3. Thor drinks, deep, long pulls, and barely lowers the level. He's told next to lift a large gray cat off the floor, something even children in the hall do for sport. Thor strains with everything he has, and manages only to raise one of its paws off the ground. Finally, humiliated, he demands a wrestling match, and is given not a warrior, but Utgarda Loki's old nurse, an elderly woman named Ellie. She throws him to one knee before the giants finally call the match off. The next morning, as the party leaves, Utgarda Loki walks them out and finally tells the truth. Because now that they're safely outside the castle walls, he can. None of it was a fair contest, because none of it was actually possible to win. Skrymir was Utgarda Loki himself in disguise, and the 3 hammer blows Thor thought only dented a mountain had actually been deflected by the giant's magic onto a nearby mountain, gouging 3 real valleys into it. Thor's strength had been terrifyingly real all along, just aimed at something that could absorb it. Loki, who outate Loki, was wildfire itself. Nothing outraces fire, consuming everything in its path. Hugi, who outran Thjalfi, was thought. Nothing is faster than a thought. The horn Thor couldn't empty was secretly connected to the entire ocean, and his 3 long drafts had visibly lowered sea levels, creating what would become the tides. The cat he could barely lift a paw off the ground was the Midgard serpent itself, coiled around the whole world, and by raising even 1 paw, Thor had nearly pulled it out of the sea entirely. And the old woman who beat him at wrestling was old age. Nothing, not even a god, has ever beaten old age to the ground. Thor raises his hammer in fury at the revelation, but Utgarda Loki and his entire castle vanish. There's nothing left to strike. This story shows that even the strongest being in the pantheon is allowed to lose. Fire, thought, the sea, old age. No strength beats these, however godlike. We are nothing before the forces of the universe, and the only honest response is humility. Thor's fury at the end isn't about being tricked. It's the realization that there was never anything there to fight in the first place.